I'm about to check out this video that you guys sent me. It's from Black Conservative Perspective. The video is a Republican woman. Oh man, was assassinated in targeted attack after flipping Democrat city council seat. That is crazy. Let's check this out. That's wild as hell, bro. That's wild, man.
So we got to talk about a sad, tragic event that happened overnight, in which a Republican councilwoman by the name of Anis Duamfor, she was gunned down while returning home to her apartment last night. And this is a very sad and unfortunate situation that happened that, in my opinion, could reflect some of the politically motivated violence that we are seeing in this country that we're not talking about enough when it comes to Republicans being the victim. Now,
yeah, that is insane, bro. People are being targeted just because they're Republicans or they're on the right. That's sickening, right? No one should be targeted for any reason.
I want to say this up front. I don't know if that's actually the case in regards to a motive here, but obviously that's the first thing that comes to mind when you have a council person, a politician that was gunned down in a targeted attack like this. You would think that it was politically motivated. However, we don't really know, and I want to make that clear. We don't know. So without further ado, I'm actually going to play this clip for you guys, and then we're going to read a little bit more about this situation, and then we're going to go.
That's what I want to know. How recent was this to the C switch?
Good luck.
More kicks of flavor.
That easy? Hold on, that got to be a mistake. I'm leaving that in too. Okay, I see what the issue is. My bad. Let me reload that. That's what?
All right, guys. So we got
that's not supposed to
tragic.
That's not supposed to happen. Give me 1 second, guys. I got it. Put that back here. I'm not editing that out either. It's real out here in these streets. It's real out here in the field. All right, here you go.
Go from there. Take a look.
Breaking news now, a woman shot to death in a New Jersey neighborhood.
Right now, investigators are trying to figure out what happened in the moments leading up to her death. Today, New York's Tracy Strahan joining us live from Sayreville with the details. Tracy.
Now, we've heard from local law enforcement on this, but also sources telling News 4 who this victim was. She was a local councilwoman elected to office back in 2021, found dead right outside of her apartment building. I'll show you the scene here in Sayreville, right at Samuel Circle, just before 7:30 last night. That councilwoman identified as Eunice Duamfor, just 30 years old. And again, a Republican councilwoman elected to office in 2021.
Just 30?
When the police responded to shots fired here, they found a woman inside of her vehicle with multiple gunshot wounds. That woman succumbed to her injuries and was pronounced dead here at the scene. Now, we've heard from the Middlesex County Prosecutor's Office, who is now the lead on this homicide investigation. They say it's ongoing. And again, sources confirming to News 4 that the victim found dead here, shot multiple times, Councilwoman Eunice Duamfor, just 30 years old, from Sayreville. And the circumstances around this still exactly unclear. We also don't know if a suspect is in custody for this homicide. Of course, we'll bring you more details on this as they become available. But again, a local councilwoman here in Sayreville found dead, the focus of a homicide investigation. We are live in Sayreville this morning. Tracy Strahan, Today in New York. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. 30 years old, young, life taken away in another act of senseless violence that we're seeing across the country. So I want to read a little bit more here about this councilwoman, and then, I'm going to talk about it and give my opinion and go from there. But I want you guys to get as much context and understanding here as possible. A New Jersey councilwoman has been gunned down outside of her home, and police say she was the quote intended target of the shooting. Anis Duamfor, 30, was found dead in her white Nissan SUV after it crashed near her home on Point of Wood Drive in New Jersey. The Republican mother of one was found with multiple gunshot wounds and pronounced dead at the scene. So it seemed like it was a drive-by thing where, she was targeted. The suspects probably rolled up beside her, opened fired, and then
that's crazy.
And left and dipped. Hopefully there's some type of footage or some type of evidence to help authorities and law enforcement locate the perpetrator.
Yeah, I hope. I really do hope that they find the person who did this. That's extremely unfortunate. The hell is wrong with people?
Witnesses claim that the suspected gunman was spotted racing away from
those witnesses?
Camelot at Lermer apartment complex, and a 911 call was placed at 7:22 p.m. Authorities say the councilwoman, who worked for a Nigerian-based church group, was the intended target, but have not given a motive. How her white SUV was seen being removed from the scene by authorities in the early hours of the morning. She ousted the sitting Democrat in the borough of Sayreville in November 2021 in a shock election win and was not up for re-election until 2024. Yeah, so this is an interesting bit of information here. So she ousted a Democrat. Okay, she flipped the Democrat seat, and she wasn't up for re-election for another 3 years. Okay, again, interesting bit of information. I'm not trying to, say that this is politically motivated. I don't know. I'm just saying that it's interesting because if the shoe was on the other foot, right? If a Democrat was targeted like this, assassinated, after flipping
crazy. It'd have been crazy, fam. This would have been major news. Everyone would have been speaking about this.
Republican seat.
It would have been.
I'm pretty sure that the Democrat conspiracy theories would come out here and say that, hey, maybe this was political violence. This was, Republicans. This was conservatives. We know what they would say, right? They would not wait to see, okay, well, who actually did this? What was the motivation? They would automatically jump to conclusions about why it happened. They do that every single time. They would also cry white supremacy and racism. And we know, based off the Tyree Nichols situation, doesn't matter if the person is black or white, right? Or what color they are, is always going to be a form of white supremacy. I don't think that this story is going to be covered by the mainstream media much. Okay, you're going to see some articles about it, but they're probably not really going to talk about it.
That's why I'm glad you guys send me stuff like this so I can help spread word. Mainstream media might not cover this like that.
The networks, you're not going to see any Democrats come out here and give any condolences or anything like that. Even though this is a black woman, right? She's a black woman politician. We're supposed to be putting, these types of people on pedestals, right? Because she's breaking the glass ceiling, right? She's a person of color who's a woman, and she's on a city council, right? As a Republican as well too. But her being a Republican kind of diminishes that value for the Democrats. So therefore, you're not going to hear much about it. But again, if she was a Democrat, again, we all know what the reaction would be. Okay, they'd be pointing the finger at Republicans, saying it's your fault. The political rhetoric in this country got a black woman Democrat killed, black women are the targets, blah, blah, blah. Again, the people that come out here and they in that crusade for black women all the time, right? Who tend to be liberal, they're going to be silent on this black woman losing her life.
100%. Because they're hypocrites and they don't actually stand for what they say they believe in, right? They're just saying it because I guess it sounds cool. It sounds cool. It's like a trend. Right. That's the reason why they're saying that. Like they don't actually stand for it or believe it. And if they did, they would speak up when something like this happens.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that this is how, politics works. Right. It seems like your value is only inherent to what political beliefs you have. Right. You can have all the infinity stones of wokeness, but if you have the wrong political beliefs, all that get washed away. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares, about your life, right? Black lives all of a sudden don't matter anymore. But then again, this could be something that's personal. Who knows? I mean, she could have, been in a bad relationship, right? A woman getting gunned down like this. Who knows what was going on behind the scenes of her personal life? We don't know, right? We have no clue why this happened, but we do know that she was targeted. That this was not an accident. This was not a mistake.
I want to get more details. I hope they do like a really intense investigation on this, bro. Find out all the reasonings for everything.
A friend told DailyMail.com that she and her family had just returned from Nigeria on a church trip, describing her as bubbly and nice. Currently, there have been no arrests in the case, with Sayreville police and Middlesex County officials investigating the incident. Friends of the councilwoman paid tribute to her as an amazing friend who loved God. Detective Juan Rodriguez and Pastor Dr. Nelia Rodriguez posted online saying, "I just saw her this morning at the store. Cool. I remember saying to her, I'll see you at the HRC meeting tomorrow, not knowing tonight was going to be the end of her life. Yeah, we never know the day nor the hour, right? Nobody.
See, that's why, yo, fam. Right, man. I tell my loved ones, I love them on a regular basis. Whenever I have the chance to, bro. Whenever I have the chance to, fam. And I try to spend as much time with them because you never know if that's your last time you might see them.
It knows the day or the hour that, their life is going to be over. Okay. That's why you have to live every single day being thankful that you're alive and that you're breathing and, you're able to experience life, because you just never know when it can be it, Quote, I can't stop crying. She was 30 years young and full of life. You will be missed, my dear, precious friend. Dual 4 was a certified business analyst and Scrum professional for Fire Congress Fellowship, Inc., and a part-time EMT. Yeah, so she sounds like she was a positive contributor to society, to the community.
And she was a good person.
Strong Christian woman. She was Republican. There's we lost a lot, right? Clearly that community lost a good person. And this is incredibly sad.
That's suspect, bro. That's mad suspect. Something's up. I would like them to do like an intense investigation. Don't do no bull crap investigation. Like really look into this
story. Now, again, I don't know if this is politically motivated, but this comes as we're seeing more and more violence in this country being targeted towards people on the right side of the aisle, Republicans. As this story just came out about how a man, an Annapolis man, pled guilty to threatening to murder a member of Congress, aka Ted Cruz. Okay, this type of stuff is happening in our country, and this is a conversation that we need to have about political violence. But it seems like Democrats only want to have this conversation when it comes to political violence that they say comes from the right. Okay.
Right. Exactly.
Hey, but they don't want to have a conversation about political violence that, results in Republicans being hurt by people. Okay.
It's crazy, bro. Like it shows like a clear bias. And to me, that's disgusting. It's like, you're not going to just keep it real. You're not just going to keep it real regardless of what someone's political beliefs are.
People who may be, extremists on the left or whatever. Again, I'm not saying that this is that incident or this is why that happened. But again, we all know what the reaction would be. We all know the questions that would be asked if this was a Democrat woman who was gunned down like this after, flipping a Republican seat or whatever. We all know what they would be saying. Okay. We all know the type of attention that this would get.
That's facts.
And what people, would say and the conclusions they would come to. But again, when it's a Republican, though, there's going to be crickets. There's going to be silence. They're not going to be asking the same questions. They're not going to be demanding justice. And getting to the bottom of it, because who knows, right? Again, this is politically motivated. Doesn't look good for the narrative that a vast majority of political violence in this country just comes from the right, which is what the media and the Democrat Party perpetuates, right? But
that's what they would want you to believe. It's what they would want you to believe.
Again, regardless of why it happened, it is senseless. It should not have happened.
Crazy, bro.
My thoughts and prayers are with her and her family. Obviously, this is terrible, and I hope that justice is brought swiftly to the suspect or the person that committed this heinous act
Facts,
bro.
Facts of life. I think, hold on.
Violence. So, let me know what you guys think.
Facts, bro. I agree 100%. That's crazy, bro. That this could even happen. The possibility that this could happen to someone just because of their political beliefs or ideologies is disgusting to me, fam. I think people should be taking it serious. Not surprised that mainstream media isn't covering it, but it's still nasty. It's still nasty as hell. Tell me what you think in the comment section and share the video as well so we can spread awareness about this, because mainstream media might not even talk about it at all, if any.